Franchise business versus independent business, which is better to buy? We're going to unpack that and more in today's episode. So oftentimes I get calls or I get scheduled appointments on my calendar. We meet over Zoom, and people are interested in buying a business or perhaps a franchise, and we begin our conversation. Most of the people start out saying, "Hey, I want to buy an existing business because I can get cash flow day one." And there's no right or wrong between a franchise business or an independent business. There is a study I pulled, which was conducted by researchers at Palm Beach Atlantic University's Rinker School of Business. They analyzed 2,159 businesses resales over a 10-year period, and the study found that the franchise business sold at a price of 1.5 times higher than comparable non-franchise businesses. The significant difference underscores the premiums that buyers are willing to pay for the established brand recognition, proven business models, and support systems associated with franchises. All right, and so that was there was another study done which was called "Impacting Resale Premium Disparity When Selling a Small Business: A Predictive Non-Linear Approach." This was published, I think, in 2021 by the Journal of Business and Economic Studies. And that's where I believe this was pulled from. So I don't know if it looks like they just looked at restaurants. And so I would be interested to know through all the other ecosystems of businesses what those resales look like, right? The differences between independent and other sectors besides restaurants. I would say, though, based on what I see, it does make sense, because if you have a recognizable business name with infrastructure and support, that somebody would pay a premium for that versus a mom and pop style business that doesn't have the same brand recognition or perhaps the same infrastructure with support and training and marketing. That being said, there is no right or wrong answer. People need to explore all these options. When candidates come and book an appointment with me, oftentimes we're discussing, what they're looking for, their expectations, what would interest them. We use something called a Zorakle Profile. It's a business assessment that was created by Rebecca Monet, and I like using that as a matching tool. And it's a science-based assessment, which really helps us match. It actually integrates with our back end, so it could match and give us recommendations on franchises that might be a good opportunity. But we actually use it for more and more understanding of the abilities of that particular candidate. And I think it's very important to take a kind of a global look when you're starting to work with somebody and figure out like what are their hobbies, what's their financial capabilities, what's their work style, what are their motivators, what's their goals, right? All these things come into play on trying to match an ideal business. It is easier to get into the franchise startup space because we search specific to your zip code, right? So we can find and identify available opportunities, and then as you dive in with the franchisor, you can start doing economic and unit economics and territory analysis of that particular market for that brand. Because I have people that reach out, years back, and they're still haven't found a business, and so maybe that's because they're looking for this unicorn type of business. They're out there, but a lot of people need to realize that it is difficult to find these unicorns where you're buying a business for $1 million or $1.5 million, and there's this seller's discretionary earnings of $350 or whatever they're looking for. The reality of it is even if you do take over a cash flowing business, oftentimes there's a lot of challenges. Maybe it's a staff challenge. Maybe it's the customer base, stops going to buy the product from your company because the people that have owned it for the last 20 years are now not there anymore. So there's a lot of factors. So there's no right or wrong answer to this. I would say look at all opportunities as you're defining your buy box, and then get a little bit more crystal clear on what makes the most sense. In a perfect world, if you could do a business acquisition, and you could replace the W-2 job with one swift move with a level of surety to a certain regard, then yes, it does make sense. And I understand the allure of business acquisitions. We finance a lot of business acquisitions via SBA on our team. So we have two sides of our company. One side is a SBA loan advisory firm, and the other company does franchise startups and franchise resales. We don't act as independent brokers because that's really unique to specific locations. Usually there is a business broker that gets the listing, and it's a very fragmented industry. But there's deals out there both in the franchise environment and the independent. But I would recommend getting crystal clear on your buy box first and understanding your financing capabilities. It is fairly simple if it's a approved SBA, if the franchise is approved on the directory to do a franchise startup loan. It's not that complicated. And business acquisition financing is not that difficult either. Generally, good credit and outside income that supports outside debts and a business that is eligible. And, sometimes we're seeing some businesses with declining revenues. That's oftentimes a little bit challenging to get a bank on board saying, well, your revenues are declining. Now you're trying to do this business acquisition. There's so many variables. But if you want to define your buy box and you want to take our business assessment, I actually just incorporated another assessment, and I do collectively with the Zorakle, because I find both of them give me really good information and also give the candidate good information, so we can then eventually build a thesis or a buy box on what particular businesses might make the most sense. If you're interested in financing a business or finding your ideal business, simply go to bookwithbeau.com and schedule a call, and look forward to meeting with you. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and feel free to browse around. We've got somewhere around 2,000 videos out there on SBA financing and business acquisition, franchise information, all these great stuff for people that are looking to get in the game. And remember, my company's mission statement is to help 1 million aspiring entrepreneurs become successful business owners over the next 10 years via this podcast or YouTube channel, via me getting on different stages as I do, my book, and whatever. We want to touch a lot of people. We want to help a lot of people transition into business ownership. So anyways, look forward to talking with you, and go to bookwithbeau.com. Thank you.
Are you ready? It's time to get the tools, prompts, and guidance you need to scale your business. With my team of VAs, my calendar stays full with qualified appointments. Now I want to help you do the same. Hi, I'm Beau Eckstein, and I've put together an exclusive ebook that will help you supercharge your productivity, scale your operation, and close more deals using virtual assistants and AI. Here are the key points you'll discover: productivity boost, scalable systems, and how to close more deals. In this free ebook, you'll discover proven strategies I've used in my own business. Strategies that have helped me go from doing it all myself to building a high-performing team that runs like a machine. Get your free copy now and unlock the secrets to growing your business faster than ever before. Please visit bizscalingplaybook.com.
Hey guys, Beau Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.